Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفاه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Brothers and sisters, welcome to another live edition of your program Ask Huda in the blessed month of Ramadan. By the grace of Allah, today is already the 19th day of Ramadan. Very few days left, very few nights left, and beginning from tomorrow night, inshallah, we shall begin the last 10 blessed nights of Ramadan. We have to be well prepared for that time. Since Aisha radiallahu anha narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever the last 10 nights of Ramadan would enter, shadda mi'zarahu, he would fasten his waist belt. It's a metaphor indicating that he would be ready to do a serious work, a very hard labor. Then وَأَيْقَظَ أَهْلَهُ, and he would awaken his family, Fatima, Ali, Aisha, Hafsa, everybody wake up. Why? Because this is an opportunity that only happens once a year, and it could be Laylat al-Qadr. وَأَحْيَا لَيْلَهُ, and he would stay up for the whole night. Normally the Prophet ﷺ used to pray and rest during every night, but on the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the whole night of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ would stay up praying, reciting Quran and making dua. So we gotta get ready, inshallah. It's gonna be beginning tomorrow evening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable all of us to witness Laylat al-Qadr and accept it from all of us. Allahumma ameen. Our phone numbers beginning with the area code are 002023855, 249, alternatively 0020112500869, and the email address is ask@huda.tv, and the Facebook page is Dr. Muhammad Salah Official. Without any further ado, the first question I have is concerning the sisters who are experiencing their menses during this blessed time, and what a waste. They will not be able to recite Quran, they cannot fast, so they feel depressed. Is it possible, or is there a way that women can recite Quran while in the menses, not to miss that great reward? First of all, when a woman is fasting, when a woman is experiencing the menses, she is not allowed to fast, nor is she allowed to pray. But Aisha radiallahu anha narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered us, women with menses, to make up the missed days of fasting and not to make up the salah. This is the legislation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For those who miss the days of Ramadan because of the menses and they make it up during any other time of the year, their reward is not diminished the least. They still maintain the same reward. It was not their choice. You don't have to do anything special to change your period. Then simply observe what Allah the Almighty allowed you to do. Al-dhikr, al-dua, al-istighfar, seeking forgiveness, celebrating the praise of Allah, reciting dua and supplication. With regards to the recitation of the Quran, which we have discussed over and over and over, but it is worth of repeating here, that the vast majority of the Muslim jurists are of the view that if women are experiencing their menses, they are not also allowed to recite Quran by the heart. We said before there is almost a general consensus that they cannot also touch the Quran without tahara. But we're talking now about reciting by heart or reading from a smart device, from a phone or a tablet. Is that permissible? The vast majority are of the view that women during their menses are not allowed to recite Quran even by the heart. They relied on that on a couple evidences. The first is a weak hadith, which does not stand as a reference to ban women who are most of the ummah from doing a great act of worship such as the recitation of Quran during the menses, which is the hadith that says that the Prophet ﷺ does not allow women during their menses to recite the Quran nor to enter the masjid. Also, they said by analogy, because the Prophet ﷺ would recite Quran all the time unless if he was in a state of janaba. So they said by analogy, but there is a major difference here in this analogy, because if a man is experienced major impurity, have intimate relationship or sexual discharge or a wet dream while asleep or awake, it is his choice to lift this major impurity whenever he wants to, and soon it must be lifted in order to offer the following prayer. But in the case of a woman whose period may last for 8, 9, 10 or even 15 days, does not have this luxury of removing the major impurity and performing ghusl whenever she would like to. So what is the condition? According to Al-Imam Malik and one of the opinions of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, which is adopted by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, and his student Ibn al-Qayyim, and a long list of the scholars, including a contemporary scholars, they are of the view that these evidences are not strong enough to prevent women from the recitation of the Quran during the menses. Keep in mind that women have to revise what they have memorized. They have to memorize if they are in the process of memorizing. So they said it is permissible accordingly, also because the Prophet ﷺ said to Aisha radiallahu anha, when she started crying on the day she arrived to Mecca to perform Hajj with the Prophet ﷺ. He said, have your period started? She said, yes. He said, don't feel sad. That is something which Allah the Almighty has decreed and ordained for all the daughters of Adam. Simply do everything that the Hajj, whether male or a female, would do in a state of tahara, other than the tawaf. You postpone your tawaf until you're pure. So the Prophet ﷺ did not mention the recitation of the Quran in this hadith. And this is a very interesting reference according to the diversion, meaning then anything other than the tawaf is permitted. Especially that the Hajj, the Hujjaj, would not only perform tawaf and sa'i, they would also recite Quran, recite adhkar. So that is an inclusive permission according to those who use this as a reference that it is permissible for women to recite Quran during the period or the menses. Yet, they said it will be best if you can only recite it because you are memorizing or because you are revising what you have memorized. In the light of the previous evidences, we would like to make it easy for women during their menses to revise their Quran and to recite. Hopefully Allah the Almighty will reward them as well. But it is worth of mentioning that we like to present the different opinions with their proofs and references so that we understand those people did not stem from nowhere. I think we have a call on the line. I couldn't hear anything. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Who's our honorable guest here?
Yeah, this is Hamid. How are you?
Ya akhi Hamid. Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, I couldn't hear the call before. Fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Oh, thank you and your family for doing this great service to the Ummah.
Jazakallahu
and for presenting such an informative and wonderful program.
May Allah accept Akhi Hamid.
I mentioned your family because I believe to do this program daily for in this glorious month of Ramadan, without their support would not have been possible.
Yeah. Jazakallah khairan.
No, thank you so much. Okay, I have 4 questions this time. The first one is, can we distance ourselves from such close relatives who have been creating troubles and serious problems to us for years whenever they visit us? Despite constantly praying and wishing them well, and despite helping them financially as well as in other ways, and they still don't stop harming us. Of course, we don't want to stop helping them, but we just want to keep a distance so that they don't trouble us anymore. This is the first question. The second one is celebrating birthdays permitted in Islam? The third question is, can we pay a person to clear his interest on house loan? And the fourth question is, can a person offer salah if he suffers frequent odorless air discharges, while it is very difficult for him to go back and forth to revalidate his ablution.
Okay.
Thank you and Jazakallah.
Yeah, Akhi Hamid, your fourth question, you said something about the odor and offering the prayer?
Yes, odorless air discharge. If he passes wind, can a person offer salah if he suffers frequent odorless air discharge, while it is very difficult for him to go back and forth to revalidate his wuzu? Jazakallah.
All right. Thank you, Brother Hamid. Before I answer you, I want to share with you, since you mentioned my family, and I thought it was by error in the beginning. I thought you meant you thanked me and the Huda team. Then again, you specified that you really meant to say the family. My wife is a very clever woman. Because I travel a lot and most of the time I'm away, so she keeps reminding me that I'm allowing you to do that on a condition that you promise me I share with you the reward. So whatever you do, I get a similar reward. And I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely reward them, my parents, my family, the same reward, that because if I'm suffering, if I'm doing anything that is hard or traveling, they are definitely sharing the same feeling with me. But alhamdulillah, generally speaking, in our job, in the da'wah that we do, there is no suffering whatsoever. It's always pleasing to our hearts to tell others about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The time that we spend, the time we travel, and the effort we make, we do it with great pleasure by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to see your children, your sons and daughters, as active in da'wah, inshaAllah, besides their careers, besides their job. Every Muslim should convey the message of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah the Almighty said to him, قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي وَسُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Say, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is my path. I call people unto Allah, and then incite me and those who follow me. So may Allah make us sincere followers of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm not sure if there are calls because I cannot hear, but let me begin by answering Brother Hamid's question with regards to family members or relatives who do not treat them the same despite the fact that the person is doing his utmost to help them, to assist them, and they are not being kind to them. I think we have a call. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing, Sheikh?
Just fine, alhamdulillah. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I have two questions.
Okay.
My first question is the bonus. I would like to know, is it okay for an employee to negotiate the bonus amount?
Hello? طيب. I think I get your question. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's take a short break to treat this technical problem. Inshallah, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Please stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. I guess the problem has been fixed. Alhamdulillah wa shukrillah. Brother Muhammad from the KSA, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, Sheikh?
Just fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, Muhammad.
I have two questions. My first question is about bonus. I would like to know, is it okay for an employee to negotiate the bonus amount if he thinks he's going to get less than what he deserves?
Okay.
And my second question is regarding itikaf. Can we make intention of itikaf if we go to pray Qiyamul Layl with congregation and leave immediately after that?
Okay. Thank you, Brother Muhammad from the KSA. The Prophet ﷺ said to somebody who complained to him, O Prophet of Allah, I have some relatives whom I'm treating very kind and I uphold their ties, but they sever their relations to me and they're rude to me. So the Prophet ﷺ said, if it is as you said, then it will be as if you're feeding them the hot sand, and Allah will continue to support you against them. He did not tell him well, treat them the same. If they're rude and they sever the relations with you, you should sever your relation to them and stop talking to them. Or you've done your best and forget about them. Then also in another hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لَيْسَ الْوَاصِلُ مَنْ يَصِلُ مَنْ وَصَلَهُ. How beautiful. Al-Wasil, the person who maintains a quality of upholding the ties of kinship, whom Allah loves, is not the one who treats his relatives the same. If they uphold their ties to them, he treats them the same, or he pays them back. No, Al-Wasil is the one whom whenever his relatives, or some of whom, are rude to him, they sever their relations with him, he continues to uphold the ties and connect them and treat them kindly. This is the recognition of the true wasil. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Asma from United Arab Emirates.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Huda, Sister Asma.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, Dr. Salam?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Doctor, I have a couple of questions which I would like to know. First of all, I will be going on Umrah, so if you could tell me some du'as which I should recite and everything. Second question, while on Umrah, I have to fast in Ramadan or I can fast later?
Okay.
The third question is that I came to know through some scholars only that we should not make the dua after the namaz, after the prayers. It should be made in between the prayers, not after salam. Now, when we go to the masjid, the imam doesn't give us that much of time that we can make the dua in between the prayers.
Yeah.
So how we will make the dua then?
Okay.
I have these questions. If you could please answer me.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, Sister Asma. Thank you. Jazakillahu khairan. Celebrating birthdays is something that is not recognized at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, neither for his own nor by his companions or the followers or the righteous predecessors. It's definitely, no doubt, if you search it, it's a Christian and Western tradition. And for us, we celebrate our Eids, no doubt. And we also look into our lifetime and our lifespan as a gift that every minute that passes by is deducted from our credit. So when Al-Hasan, may Allah have mercy on him, says, إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ أَيَّامٍ, each and every one of us is just a bunch of days. Whenever a day goes by, a part of you is gone. So even from this perspective, how would one celebrate that he's running short of time and his lifespan is reduced and he's approaching his death or his term? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Magid from Egypt. Maggie from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Dr. Muhammad. I have three very quick questions.
Sure.
My first question is regarding the donations we make online to the Syrian refugees for humanitarian relief.
Yeah.
Can that be regarded as zakat money?
Okay.
And my second question is regarding the Taraweeh prayers. If we're praying with the Quran, reading the Quran during these prayers, would that decrease our reward in any way?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, Maggie. Can you say that again about reading the Quran in Taraweeh?
Yeah, holding the Quran and reading off of it while praying the Taraweeh.
Okay.
And my third question is if a person makes a meal to feed a poor family and to break their fast, and someone else comes and gives them dates, will both sides get the same reward, or the person who broke their fast first from the dates?
Okay, so somebody invites people to break their fast in his house, right? And somebody else gives them a date to break their fast. So the reward will go to whom? Okay.
Exactly.
That's a good question. Okay. Thank you. Brother Abu Safwan from Kuwait. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Long time no hear from you.
Yeah, actually the timing is like that usually. So that's why I was missing your things. But my family is watching every day and I got all the things.
Give them my
Alhamdulillah.
salam, please.
Jazakallah khair.
And all the Muslim
Jazakallah khair.
community in Kuwait, please.
Inshallah, ta'ala, inshallah. Okay, Sheikh, I'm traveling 3 days time, inshallah, to US. Right now we have about, 16 and a half hours fasting here. No, 15 and a half hours. So, but inshallah, I'll travel on Saturday.
You're going to be fasting. Which state are you flying to?
To New York. So it will be almost
You're going to be fasting 6 hours extra. You're going to add another 6 hours to your fasting.
No, not 5th hour, because I have a flight in the morning, 10 o'clock. So we are starting from here. So it's when I'll finish the sahur here, it will be there, it will be 8 o'clock. So almost this is 28 hours, 25 or 24 or 25 hours fasting. And throughout my journey, we will not find anywhere any sunset. It is all daytime. So what I'm asking, because I have here 15 and a half hours almost fasting, can I count it or no, I have to wait for the sunset? Because I don't know I can wait for 25 hours fasting.
Okay.
So
this is exactly
question.
what I told you. There is 6 hours plus extra from the Middle East to New York. By the time you fly from Kuwait to JFK, there will be 6 hours extra till Maghrib. So if you plan to fast, you have to continue fasting until sunset. You don't have to do that, because Allah the Almighty says, "Man kana minkum maridan aw ala safar," and you are traveling, you're exempt from fasting. We do that because we can afford it. I mean, I travel all the time and I would do it with pleasure, no problem. But if you think it's much of a burden for you, you don't have to do it. Rather, it would be best to take advantage of the concession and break your fast. Barakallah fikum. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Naima from Egypt. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, I have a question.
No.
I would like to ask you, is a woman allowed to enter the masjid if she's on her menses?
If she is in the menses.
No.
Okay? No, she is not allowed to enter the masjid unless if there is a necessity, she's just crossing, not staying in the masjid.
Okay.
Okay. That was the first question I answered in this program. But again, thank you, Sister Ni'ma and Abu Safwan. Okay, let me continue with Hamid's third question. Helping somebody to pay off his debt, which is interest-based. This is questionable, though, because I have to know why did he take the loan and whether he approves the interest or he is stuck in a condition where he was forced to take a loan. Because I'm not supposed to help any person who's committing a sin. But some people have to take a loan for an operation, for a surgery, for a condition or a calamity that afflicted them, and whatever was available at the time, only a loan which is interest-based. They couldn't collect a goodly loan. So in this case, yes, they are categorized as al-gharimin. I can help them from even the zakah fund to settle their debt. But somebody is buying a house to move to a bigger house or to expand his business and he's in debt with interest, I'm not going to help him, neither from the zakah or from the sadaqah, unless if his conditions change and he's become zakah eligible. Your fourth question is about frequently passing wind, whether it is with an odor or odorless. That's a condition which is known in fiqh as similar to urine incontinence. There is wind incontinence. You cannot control your bowel. In this condition, it would be sufficient as long as it is continuous and there is a condition of incontinence. You perform wudu once you hear the adhan or the time of the prayer has entered. With this wudu, you pray all the nawafil and the fard, then the following nawafil, even though you're passing wind and breaking wind frequently, because this is a medical condition unavoidable. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Ayham from Oman. Assalamu alaikum, Ayham.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Go ahead, Sister Ayham. Welcome to Ask Huda. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have a question about the deodorants that we are using under our arms.
Yeah?
the roll-ons. They are read that on the ingredients they have alcohol. What is the ruling on that?
طيب. Got it. Thank you, Ummu Ayham. Barakallahu fiki. All right. Brother Muhammad from the KSA, who asked about the employer negotiating the bonus. These contracts are a matter of ijab and qabul. So as an employer, I have the right to negotiate the salary and the bonus. If the employee is happy with it, he may take it. And if he's not happy with it, he may drop it. There is a difference between negotiating before the contract and then later on when I know the person is in need for this job and he's not gonna mind that I twist his arm and I change my view and I say, this is what I have. If you like, you can keep it. If you like, if you don't like it, you can just leave. We have to deal with each other according to the following hadith. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believe until he loves for his brother whatever he loves for himself. The same way you like to be treated. And also, I may appreciate one of employees because I know that his work should be appreciated more than others. So I should not hesitate to do that. Don't you think when you pay him his rights or even give him a raise, that would decrease your profit? No, wallahi, it would definitely increase it though. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Muhammad from United Arab Emirates, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kaifa halak, Shaykh?
Just fine, alhamdulillah. How about yourself, Muhammad?
Alhamdulillah. First of all, I want to say barakallahu feekum for being here with us this past weekend. It was a pleasure being in the audience for your lecture.
Barak. I definitely enjoyed it so much. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm looking forward to come back soon, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Just one quick question, actually. I just want to know when do the last 10 nights actually start? Is it the night of the 20th or the night of the 21st? Because here in the Emirates, it is being announced that tonight is the first night of the last 10 nights. So in my family, we were just discussing this issue. So I said, well, let me call the Sheikh. And because I remember in the beginning of the program, you indicated tomorrow night.
Okay. Today is the 19th in Emirates, isn't it? Today is the 19th of Ramadan in Emirates, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Barakallahu feek. I will answer that. Brother Ahmed from Somalia, assalamu alaikum.
Hello. Alaikum salam.
Naam, Ahmed, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Alaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wow. Could you please turn off your TV or mute it at least?
I would like to ask a question about. You know, money time is. I didn't go for the mosque. What shall I?
طيب Ahmed, please try again. Jazakallah khairan. We're trying our utmost to entertain all the callers. Alhamdulillah, we do not filter calls, we do not engineer any. It's been 10 years, mashallah. This is my 10th Ramadan by the grace of Allah since we started the channel and we started Ask Huda. By the grace of Allah, our phone lines are always open. Any caller who would like to present any question or to share with us anything, may Allah accept from all of us. Barakallah fikum. Brother Muhammad from the KSA is asking about performing partial i'tikaf. Al-i'tikaf is a sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ used to observe, particularly in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, hoping that he would observe Laylat al-Qadr while in a state of i'tikaf in the masjid. Al-i'tikaf is to remain in the masjid from the moment you enter with the intention of remaining in the masjid, whether you're praying or not, whether you're reading Quran or not, whether you're fasting or not, in Ramadan or outside Ramadan. You can do it any time of the year. Okay, what is the minimum time for i'tikaf? There is no minimum. There is no minimum. And this is a great pleasure and a lot of ease. Allah the Almighty just said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَلَا تُبَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. So exactly as you said, Brother Muhammad, a person who's going to pray Taraweeh in the masjid, Isha and Taraweeh, and nowadays inshallah we're beginning also the Tahajjud, so you may end up staying for 3, 4 or 5 hours. Why not intend to perform i'tikaf? Is that valid? Perfectly valid. And you will be rewarded in proportion with the time that you spend in the masjid. Even if you just intend to do i'tikaf while praying Isha and Taraweeh only, that is sufficient. As I said, there is no minimum time for i'tikaf. Everyone who's going to pray Isha and Taraweeh in the masjid intend to do i'tikaf. The brothers who are not able to take off to do a complete i'tikaf, a full i'tikaf, which will begin tomorrow before sunset, insha'Allah, if you're planning to perform a full i'tikaf until the end of Ramadan, the last 10 days and nights of Ramadan. If you are not able to take off, do not waste the opportunity. Rather take advantage of whenever you leave from work, you go to the masjid, you stay with the brothers, you do iftar, and you pray Maghrib, then you recite your Quran, and you stay until Isha and Taraweeh, pray Fajr. Then if you want to rest or go back to work, that's called partial i'tikaf. Would that do it? It would do it. It's better than nothing. And this time which you spend in the masjid is very, very precious time. Talking about when the last 10 nights of Ramadan begin, I know I have earlier questions, but because I mentioned i'tikaf, some people would like to begin their i'tikaf. The official beginning of the last 10 nights of Ramadan is tomorrow at sunset, because the night precedes the day. So whenever it is the 21st day, now we're counting the last 10 nights of Ramadan, whenever it is the 21st day, the night before, which happens to be the evening of the 20th, tomorrow evening, is the beginning of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. I'll tell you why some people alerted you that we're going to begin from today. Considering how many days will be the month of Ramadan, and that can be only determined when the month is over. When we see the crescent of Shawwal, there are a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, you should seek Laylat al-Qadr لِتِسْعٍ بَقَيْنٍ لِسَبْعٍ بَقَيْنٍ, which means in the remaining 9 nights or 7 nights, which means the counting will be from the end of the month. Well, how can we figure out when is which night was the 9th, the 21st, or the 23rd? If the month is over and it was only 29 or it was 30, it will differ though. So that's why they take precaution and they said, hey, we're not wasting any time, we're not wasting this opportunity. From tonight until the end, every night is valuable and every night is Laylatul Qadr, because it could be Laylat al-Qadr. But the official i'tikaf, if you'd like to observe it, inshallah, you may enter your mu'takaf, the masjid, tomorrow before sunset. So when the sun sets or the adhan is called, you're officially in i'tikaf. May Allah accept. Sister Asma from United Arab Emirates, she wants to perform Umrah, and what kind of dua should I advise you with? The greatest dua is what Allah recommended in the Quran for the pilgrims and the mu'tamirin to recite. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah the Almighty says, some people, when they make dua, they focus on the dunya. Oh, Allah give me a good wife. Oh, Allah give me a bunch of kids. Oh, Allah promote me in my job. Oh, Allah move me to a bigger house. Dunya, dunya, dunya. وَمَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ. Then he shifted to recommend, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ. And there are some people who say, our Lord, grant us a goodly reward in this life. And a goodly reward in this life is the wife, the husband, the spouse, the children, the house, the vehicle, the business, you name it, the whole dunya. وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً, and give us a goodly reward in the hereafter. وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ, and protect us against the punishment of fire, the torment of hell. Allahumma ameen. Of course, there is a long list of supplications. By the way, that is the only prescribed dua in tawaf between Al-Rukn al-Yamani and Al-Hajar al-Aswad corner. the Black Stone Corner. For further information, there is a program called Hajj Step by Step, about 11 or 12 episodes, short ones. Please watch the program before performing Umrah or Hajj. May Allah accept. As far as traveling and performing Umrah and fasting, again, if you're traveling, you're exempt from fasting. Traveling from Dubai to Jeddah airport, as like 4 hours or so, a couple hours. Then from Jeddah to, after you finish your immigration paperwork, to Mecca, it's another couple hours. It's starting. If you wish to break your fast, you're eligible. You have the concession to break your fast. If you wish to continue, that is perfectly fine. What will determine your capacity, if you're capable to observe fasting or not? Some people do come from Houston, Texas. They fly for about 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, depending on the carrier, to New York. Then they take another flight to KSA. All of that while fasting. And they're happy. Or they go even further to Al-Madinah. They're happy. If they can afford it, fine. But if you're tired, if you're afraid that you're going to faint, if you're extremely thirsty, if you're starving, break your fast. That's a concession. والله يحب أن يؤتى رخصه كما يحب أن تجتنب معاصيه. Allah loves His concessions to be observed the same way He likes His sins, His prohibitions to be avoided and abstained from. Dua after the salam. If the Imam doesn't give me a chance to make dua after the tashahhud and before taslim, you don't have to make taslim immediately after him. You still can make dua, then you make taslim. That's a solution. Secondly, I am of the view that it is permissible to make dua anytime, including after the prayer. Do not make it in congregation. Don't you think that it is an obligation or it's a part of khitamus salah or even recommended to make dua during this time? But when you make it occasionally, to make dua after the prayer, it is permissible, similar to making dua any other time. Couple days ago in the lecture, one of the brothers asked me and he said that in the Indian society or the Indo-Pak society, we consider making dua after the prayer as a wajib. I say this is where you guys go wrong, because it is neither a wajib nor it's a sunnah. But if you want to make dua occasionally, that is permissible. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Hamza from the case A.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, I have one question on zakah.
Naam.
If I have a land which I have kept only for later use, maybe for the kids, like an investment, I have kept it as a property. Do I have to pay zakah on that?
Okay. Thank you. I got your question. Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Sister Maggie from Egypt. Of course, I'm pronouncing it as Egyptian pronunciation. Otherwise, the letter G, it will be Magi. Anyway, this is how I got it. The sister asked about paying donations to the Syrians online. Would that count as zakah? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can deduct it from your zakah and you can pay in advance for the year to come. And you deduct that from your zakah payment of the next year. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Just make sure that the online payment is going to the right people. For instance, I definitely know some organizations in the UK who would definitely deliver the help to those who are in need, such as the Human Relief Organization, if this is one of those whom you pay to, because these organizations are supervised and they make sure that the donations go exactly to the recipients, to the eligible recipients. Also, carrying mushaf in the salah, in tahajjud, would that reduce the reward? It would not reduce the reward. Just make sure that you would not be more distracted with flipping the pages, and if you have the smart device, you can use it as well. If you have a stand that has an open Quran which has the whole ruba in one page, you can do that. Because ما لا يدرك كله لا يترك جله. Some people would love to pray a long prayer, but they are not memorized. Maybe that will encourage them, inshallah, after Ramadan to start on memorizing more and more surahs, inshallah. But for the time being, what really determines your reward in the salah is how much khushu' you had in the salah. لا يكتب للمرء من صلاته إلا ما عقل منها. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will only be rewarded for your prayer for the part that you focus on. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. The first quality of the successful believers in the beginning of Surah Al-Mu'minun is that they tranquil in their prayer. They have khushu' in the salah. If that is obtained while you're looking in the mushaf, that's great. Alhamdulillah wa shukrillah. Do we have Sister Hamza from the case say she bought a property for her kids' future. Is it zakatable? It is not zakatable though. Unless if you sell it, then you pay zakat once on it when you sell it. Sister Maggie as well asked about very interesting question, and it shows that how much people compete in doing good things. Only people who perceive the matter of reward as a true promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they think about it and they contemplate this idea so much. She asked about if we invite people for iftar, so we prepare the feast and the meal, then somebody passes dates, who is going to get the reward? The reward mainly is for the iftar, the person who offers the meal, the host who invited people to eat and have in his house. What about the person who tried to snatch away their reward from me? He will be rewarded. If somebody offered, as in the haram, we're sitting and somebody distributed this, that is the only iftar we have, that's an iftar. Somebody is offering a meal, that is an iftar, and you get rewarded as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, من فطر صائما كان له مثل أجره. When you offer an iftar to a fasting person, you get a similar reward of his or hers without diminishing the reward of either one of you. So inshallah you will get the reward, and the person who gave the dates will be also rewarded in proportion with what he offered. Last question before we okay, I know that we run out of time, but we'd like to answer Ayham about deodorant which has alcohol. That goes under the khilaf, the difference of opinion between the scholars with regards to whether alcohol is physically impure or only morally. So those who say alcohol is physically impure, that if you touch it, you have to wash it off and wash off your clothes in order to be able to pray. Accordingly, anything that is alcohol-based is impure. And the opinion which says that alcohol is tahir, which is the vast majority, because alcohol is not physically impure. Because in the ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ وَالْمَيْسِرُ وَالْأَنصَابُ وَالْأَزْلَامُ رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ. It was not only alcohol which is described as rijs. Maisir, gambling, the lotto tickets, drawing lots, you know, for a profit or cash or whatever. It's not physically impure. It's haram. It's a major sin, but it is not physically impure. So we say whenever there is a khilaf, if you can avoid it, it is better. But if you follow the school which says that alcohol is not physically impure, rather it's only morally impure, and this is for topical application, I'm not swallowing it, I'm not taking it as food or drink, then it is permissible accordingly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our sins. أقول قولي هذا والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. And see you tomorrow, brothers and sisters, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech.